Hi, welcome back. It's going to be a slightly different video today. It's not going to be slightly different. I'm still going to talk about makeup. But I think in the wake of Urban Decay telling everybody that they're going to stop stocking the Naked palette, there's probably going to be an absolute tirade of videos about the Naked palette, isn't there? And I'm going to jump on that bandwagon. I also kind of just wanted to talk about the state of YouTube at the moment. I am not by any means a big YouTuber. I wouldn't even like to think of myself as anything to do with a blogger. Like, I'm not. I just like making these videos, and I think I've said before, for me it's almost like a personal therapy. People that I work with, people that I live with, like my other half, friends that are around me, they're not as into makeup and fashion and things as I am. And therefore, sometimes when I'm talking about it all the time, I can see them glaze over as if, yep, they all look the same. I can see it happening. So I like making them, I like meet people who like the same things as me. And I just feel at the moment, I've been watching YouTube for the better part of 10 years. I started out watching people like X-Sparkage, Vintage or Tacky. There was a guy called Petrilude, the Queen of Blending. And then on the kind of British side of things, there was a girl called Lollipop21, and I believe she's still got a blog called Buy Now Blog Later. Her name is Laura. Fleur, obviously. You know, all these people who are now very, very successful YouTubers. But with the likes of X-Sparkage and Vintage or Tacky, these girls, I feel, have remained true to their fans, their brand, whatever you want to call it. I don't feel like they've sold out and just become money factories churning things out as I've seen other people become. Me personally, as someone in their 30s, I don't subscribe to people who are the Jeffree Stars, the Manny MUAs, the Laura Lees. I don't subscribe to them. I have watched videos in the past from them. Some of the things that they've brought out has been very interesting. I don't own anything from them. And saying that, these big YouTubers like Jacqueline Hill as well, I feel now YouTube has become what QVC used to be. Am I the only one that feels this? I feel like now, and I'm not subscribed to these channels and watching these channels, but I feel like anybody who is watching them, you may as well sit and watch QVC. I remember my mum used to kind of take the mickey out of people that used to sit and watch QVC, and it would be like, oh, and if you buy this, then you get this for free, and you can use this discount today, and you will get this package, all for the guaranteed bargain price of $200. Yeah, but do you need it? No. Are you getting it drummed into you that it's something that you absolutely do need? Yes. Is it marketing? Yes. I've spoke about this before about marketing. I made a video basically about things that were annoying me. I'll link that video up here. And it really concerns me that there are youngsters now watching as young as 10, 11, 12 who are being told, like, this is what you need to be cool or to succeed. I see young girls walking down the high street, you know, 15, 16, and everybody talks about as well how youngsters went through the purple eyeshadow or the blue eyeshadow, the pink lip gloss, the awkward stage. I totally done it myself. I will insert a picture here. I definitely done it myself. And that doesn't seem to happen now. People are coming out looking as if they're totally flawless. But there is part of me that finds it a little bit disconcerting that there's these youngsters that are following people in their mid to late 20s who have an absolutely champagne lifestyle, and they think that that's normal, like that is what you have to do, when it's not normal, it's not reality. Anyway, I digress. As I start putting on my makeup, I'm going to keep talking about this. The first thing I'll say is I might look a little bit different today because I'm usually a BB cream girl. I don't usually wear foundation or anything like that. But in the spirit of this video, I thought, you got to put on the Naked foundation, don't you? You've got to do it. So I've already put that on my face, and I've got a little bit of concealer under my eyes, and that's about it. In the spirit of talking about how YouTube and the beauty industry, I feel, has become this big marketing machine, I think it's been very clever marketing from Urban Decay, I have to say. It's clever marketing, but equally it does kind of annoy me. Because they're telling everybody they've done this big video of the funeral of the Naked palette. It is a cult classic, people love it. I remember getting it when I was maybe 22. I will insert a picture here as well. I remember wearing it on my 23rd birthday, and this is a night out picture, and I remember the look that I'd done, and it was from the Naked palette, and it was like, that's what I'm going for. I'm now grown up and I have to wear like smoky brown eyes rather than crazy colours. The next week I did go out like this though, and they obviously didn't care that you had to have smoky brown eyes. But they're obviously saying that this wonderful little palette is gone, it is dead. But if you're gonna believe that this is never coming back, then more fool you. I don't know that obviously, but I'm just like, come on, there's no way. Actually, so they announced yesterday that it was, the video came out yesterday of the funeral of Nicole Richie, you know that. And today, I've seen all these little bits saying like, you know, get it before it's gone, go now, half price, it's sold out on all these sites, but you can still get it in stores. But it actually, there was other bits that said, we'll follow you into the dark, and it was like, went into blackness, and I thought, they're gonna bring it back. They're gonna bring it back as some sort of resurrected black palette, or I don't know. I just do not believe for a second that they are getting rid of this. But it is very clever, because at the end of the day, everybody wants one now. Everybody wants one when it's been about for 10 years. It's been sitting in my drawer for God knows how long. I can't remember the last time that I actually got it out and used it. Look, mine's is really used. Virgin is gone, there's like not there anymore, and Naked as well. But I can't remember the last time I actually got this out and used it. I completely and utterly in my early 20s fell into the bandwagon of, I've got the first one, I need the second one. So when I got the second one, your responsibilities in your teenage and early 20s aren't as much as when you get older. So you're thinking, yeah, obviously I need this in my life, and you get bombarded with things and you believe it, and that is my concern, because I feel like over the last however many years, YouTube just got worse and worse for that. Like it's literally like sitting watching QVC now. I got roped into that one. And then when the Naked 3 came out, I actually remember this, my other half and my mum both bought me the same thing at Christmas. Because they knew I had 1 and 2, they thought, well, the third one's came out, we'll get her that, which was so kind of them, and obviously I returned one of them. But I'm telling you, this is the one I've used the least. I really just have barely used this one, and it's an absolute shame because it's a lovely palette, but I think by the time this one came out, I'd lost interest. And as I say, I don't remember the last time that I got any 3 of these out, and now I see people being like, oh my god, I need to go back and get that because they're getting rid of it. And I'm like, but when did you last use it? When did you last want something like that? Like, I also have the Naked on the Run palette. I didn't really like this palette, if I'm honest. It was a gift. I was very appreciative of having it. Ooh, can you see? It came with Sesso, which I've spoke about in a more recent video, which they don't do anymore. I looked into it, they don't do it. It came with, what eyeliner was it? Bourbon maybe? It came with an eyeliner, and it came with Perversion, a small mini Perversion. This colour in the Naked palette, to me, you're just like, why is that there? The bronzer is dead orange, and this is a little highlighter, which isn't too bad, but it's not a highlighter as we would know highlighters now. It's definitely more matte highlighter. So for the person that said that my video was very hypocritical, talking about marketing and people jumping on the bandwagon and we're all being roped into buying things, it is hypocritical, but I'm well aware it's hypocritical. I know it's hypocritical, and that's why it annoys me even more, because I find myself roped into these things, and before I know it, I'm there, I've got them, and here I am like 5-6 years on thinking, I didn't need all 3 of these, there was no need for it. And that's why I haven't picked up the Smoky, the Heat Petite, any of the other crap that they've brought out for Naked, because I'm just like, it's not required. I do not need that many palettes. Okay, so as I said, for the purposes of this video, I have already got foundation on, so I'm just going to crack on. I've already primed my eyelids, so I'm going to just do something really simple. It is the Naked palette, it's not going to be anything too exciting. So I'm going to go in with Buck first, just into the crease. Now, I generally prefer to pack on colour and then blow it out, but I always found whenever I was using the Naked palette, I would always use it in this way. Maybe just because I watched so many people using it that I copied them. So this is the way I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to put Buck in the crease. So as I was saying earlier, it's one of these things, the marketing machine, the beauty industry, everything like that. And obviously there's been quite a lot of controversy about these bigger channels and, oh, somebody's thrown somebody under the bus and all that kind of crap. I literally couldn't care less. I honestly couldn't care less. My concern is that there is a lot of youngsters and a lot of people who are very impressionable, who, it's like pop stars, isn't it, when we were younger. And if a pop star then decided to be doing something really inappropriate, or, you know, like, what was his name from E17 that started taking drugs and like spoke about it openly on TV? That was like a PR nightmare, wasn't it? Whereas nowadays, I feel like these big kind of YouTubey beauty guru people, they just jump on Twitter and they're like, oh yeah, I'm really sorry about that, but like, and it's not even proper apologies or anything. I just think, yous aren't like government people, yous aren't like people who are deciding the difference of life or death situations. Yous are sitting on YouTube talking about makeup. But my concern is that there's so many youngsters who see that as the be all and end all. There's no reality anymore, and that's just really worrying. I'm putting this on and I'm just realising, like, in comparison to all the really warm tone palettes that we get now, this is quite cool actually. I kind of am like, why is that so pale in my eyes? But it's not as warm as I remember. I also kind of don't remember there being such a lack of matte shades in this. Like, I'm looking thinking, what will I put on next? They're all really shimmery. Okay, I'm going to take some Smog, which is one of the darker shades but not the darkest, and just pop that in the outer corners. It is a frosted shade, but I remember wearing a lot more frosty eyeshadows in my youth than I do now. That might be to do with the fact that my age as well. Your eyelids don't take to the frosty shadows quite so well. I'll just build that up. And the likes of kind of all your British YouTubers as well, there's quite a few I still absolutely adore to watch, I'm not gonna lie, but the likes of the ones that any scandals have evolved around, I never watched them anyway. I think the target age range for these people, not mentioning anything, but there was a particular calendar that came out last year from a young lady, but the target age range for these people, I think I was too old anyway, so I never ever kind of zoned in on it. I never watched it. It just wasn't my thing. So I kind of have managed to, maybe just being a little bit older, I've kind of managed to avoid being sucked into all that. That's quite nice now, I quite like that. I'm using the Naked on the Run mirror because it's got a lovely big mirror. See, now that I'm putting it on again, I'm like, God, this is nice. I remember it was so nice. Yeah, that's not bad. I'm just gonna take Sin, which is almost like a bit of a kind of frosty pink colour, just on the brow bones. It's not pink, it just kind of has a bit of a pink tone to it, I remember. It's quite nice. Now, am I going to go all out and use Half Baked? Because Half Baked was the colour that, it was one of those ones that when you swatched it you were just like, oh my god. But there's so many colours like that now. That's Half Baked. I remember it well, it's like this beautiful gold colour. If I remember rightly, I think that was also in the Naked too. So I'm just going to pat that on detail. Oh, super golden. I'm going to go the inner corner with Sidecar. It's a bit more glittery, but it's just a little bit lighter than Half Baked. So just to kind of bring a bit more light shade. I think it was one of those things you got naked and there was like memes going about, I remember it, they'd be like, you've got 3 naked palettes and a beauty blender, and all of a sudden you think you're a makeup artist. I'm gonna take Dark Horse and try and just darken up the outside a little bit more. Just more kind of outer corner and top of my lash line. Oh, I remember these looks well, so I do big blown out, dark, smoky eyes. A lot of the time, the things I loved about Urban Decay was as well, I was a bit of a goth, like Aerosmith t-shirt. I know they're not goth, they're more rock, but you know, I was a bit of a rock chick. I liked going to clubs where people were very dark makeup. And I suppose as I came into my early 20s, this was a good transition from wearing black lips and black eyeliner to a bit more grown up goth. Now I'm going to go into Creep, which is the darkest one. They never had a matte black in the Naked, which nowadays would be like blasphemous, but at the time nobody cared. So I'm going to take Creep and just put it along the top lash line. So that's kind of all I'm going to do on the top. I'm going to put some eyeliner on as well now. Again, Urban Decay junkie, what can I say? I'm going to go for, I don't think I've got Bourbon anymore. If I have, I've probably bloody lost it. Stag's always quite a good one because it was kind of brown but dark brown, and I've still got West. That one's Stag, that one's West. I think I'll go for West. Now I'm just gonna put that right on the corner. I don't usually draw black lines under my eye, well not since I was 15 anyway, because it's too harsh. So what I usually do first is smoke out the eyeliner before it sets, because the 24-hour eyeliners are always really good for staying put. I'll just smoke out the top lash line as well. I've not put any eyeshadow under my eye, but what I am going to do is go in with Smog, which is the slightly lighter brown one, because I don't want to look too heavy under the eye, and just run that over the top. Now the gold colour that I've got Half Baked, I used to put that in my inner corner because I just loved it, but I think that might be a bit much. So I'm going to go in with Sin again and put that in the inner corner. It's much lighter. Aww. Do you know what I wonder as well sometimes? I watch Pixie Woos, I watch both Sam and Nick Chapman. They are massive. They have obviously their Real Techniques brand. Yes, a lot of their videos are talking about new products coming from them and stuff. I don't find them overly OTT, like trying to sell you their brand. Like, we know they've got the brand, we know that they bring things out, but I don't find it's like a constant theme in their videos that they're trying to sell it to me. Yes, they're maybe using the products, but they're not trying to sell it to me. And sometimes I feel a bit like, I'm just going to put mascara on while I'm doing this. They aren't necessarily catering to that young age range. I mean, I think Sam Chapman's on several videos has actually said, I remember she done one with her daughter and she was like, why would people put makeup on like this when they're talking about Instagram makeup? I'm totally with her. I feel that the likes of Jeffree Star and Moany and things like that, the whole RuPaul Drag Race, everything like that has also added to the beauty industry, the makeup industry. And I think lots of young women and men feel that that aesthetic, that really OTT makeup is the makeup that you should be wearing. I mean, I don't really know what's happened to natural makeup, and I know it's still there. I know Glossy was a big thing. I know that there is still natural makeup, but I don't think it's, I imagine in high schools now, and the few young people that I know, or people that I know that have children that are at that age, it's like, it's a must have to have brows, it's a must have to have contour. It's, to me, it's total peer pressure. Funnily enough, when I was at the NARS thing last month or the month before, I can't even remember how long ago it was now, the women who were there, you know, the makeup artists that work for MAC, were saying we hate it when we get a 15-year-old girl in saying, I want my prom makeup done and I want this and I want that and I want to look like Jaclyn Hill and I want blah blah blah. They're just like, we hate it, but obviously it is what we've got to do, it's the client, what they want, but NARS makeup, their aesthetic is not that. So actually, you might probably find, and I'm saying this because this is my opinion, but I find the good makeup artists like Sam Chapman, Wayne Goss, Pat McGrath's, the kind of, I want like Bobby Brown, all the kind of makeup artists that you've heard about for years that haven't just been on YouTube for 5 years. It's been brands that have been about for a long time. I feel like these companies, they get used on YouTube channels quite a lot, that a lot of people are like using these really expensive and bougie products and selling them to people who are 12 years old, whose mum and dad maybe have 3 mouths to feed and aren't going to be able to buy them 40 quid bronzer or highlighter or spend hundreds of pounds on a Vault. I don't think it's the youngsters' fault. I think that they're constantly marketed to feel they need it, and it's just alarming. It's a bit of a strange video to make, I'm aware of that, but I just kind of wanted to discuss, I don't think it's youngsters' fault. I think they're being marketed to. You remember when we got rid of, like, oh, we're not going to put sweets and things next to the aisles in the supermarket anymore because we don't want kids picking up chocolate bars. Okay, fine. Don't even get me started on these nutrition bars that are sitting there now. They're just as bad. The media, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, all these things are just constantly marketing towards kids now that these are things that you need. And then therefore, parents are like, that's obviously what the kids are doing now, that's what we need. And I'm like, why does nobody see that it's just basically QVC? It's just QVC. It's like, you need it now, you know you need it now. Like those infomercials you used to see at 3 in the morning when you were sitting after a party or something. I'm not saying what I was doing, but I might have been sitting up all night and then these came on the telly. But it's like these mad infomercials that you used to see after at like 3 or 4 in the morning, and they would go on for half an hour at a time. That's what I feel like big beauty gurus and things like that are just now, and I'm not interested in it. I really couldn't give a flying flip. And yes, I most definitely get roped into the market machine sometimes. I can't say I own anything that's Morphe though, just saying. I'm trying to think of some YouTubers that I actually enjoy, that I look forward to seeing things from. I look forward to seeing new videos and possible collaborations from, that I don't feel are pushing it down my throat. I like Kathleen Lights, she's been about for quite some time now. Love Raw Beauty Christie, obviously, and her videos are quite overproduced, but I think she's quite funny. I think she can carry off overproduced videos for the simple reason that she's dead funny and she's dead down to earth. Look at that! Oh, where have you been, Naked Palette? Maybe you should all just rush out and buy one now that I'm like, wow, forgot how good it was. I love the Alanna edit, I've mentioned that before. I'm going to put some blush and things on. I'm going to actually try, I got a new cloud paint from Glossy because, you know, I'm not part of the marketing machine or anything like that, and I didn't get roped into buying that. But it's in Storm, which is like a kind of almost like terracotta colour, almost like a kind of brownie rose colour. But yeah, so looks horrifically scary at first, but it blends out nice. Who else I like? The Alanna edit, yes, definitely. There is certain people that I will see they'll put a new video out and I'll maybe skip over it because I think, not that bothered. But people like the Alanna edit, like I will always watch one of her videos. I think she's really good. Again, find her, even though she buys more kind of top of the range things, or she gets sent more top of the range things and what have you. But I find she's really just seems like someone I would have a cup of tea with. Genevieve, well, she most definitely lives the champagne lifestyle. That's a given. I don't know if it's because she's Scottish. I don't know if it's just, I just think she's quite funny, if I'm honest with you. So I don't mind watching her. As times went on a wee bit, like, she definitely does the marketing. She definitely, like, has that Instagram makeup look. She does. I just find her quite funny though, so I don't mind watching her so much. Love Michaela McDade, as I've said. Love Lucy Jane Wood, she's fantastic too. Other than the American ones that I've mentioned, like X-Sparkage and Vintage or Tacky, I don't watch many American YouTubers. Alanna Davids, but she's Canadian obviously. I'm going to take, this is the Spice palette or something like that, from Revolution. I don't even know if they still do this. Yeah, Sugar and Spice palette. And I'm going to take this kind of medium brown taupey shade here. It's not too dark, but I'm just going to put that on for some colour. That's actually pink, isn't it? Oh well. But there's not many American. I certainly don't watch any of the big wigs. I can't be bothered with that nonsense. I much more prefer someday watching them and I think, I would love to like go for a drink with you. I would love to meet you. I would totally wear that. I would totally do that eye makeup. I would, you know, I like seeing things like, I'm going to put up a new kind of series as such of comparing face masks and what have you. So I'd like to see things like that. I like to see things like vlogs. But what I would like is if people just stop trying to sell me things in a video, if I'm honest with you. If people genuinely like something and they're like, this is something I use and use again, fine. Oh, Helen Anderson, how could I have forgot her? I really like her. They're all guilty of doing it. I can't sit here, that's why I don't want somebody going, this is so hypocritical because all these people do that. Yeah, they do, because it's their fucking job, obviously. But I know that as a 30-odd-year-old woman, I know that's their job. My concern is that there's all these youngsters that will just get roped into buying the Naked palette because they think it's the superior, and they'll run to their mum and dad and be like, I need it, it's a cult thing and it's going to go away, and then 6 months to a year it'll come back in a different packet. I'm going to use the wee Becca mini highlight that I got in Moonlight, is it? Ouch, that was my elbow. Moonstone, because I've used the H&M Delicate Pearl I don't know how many times now, and I do have Urban Decay. The only Urban Decay highlighter that I've got is the Afterglow 8-hour one in Aura, which is like a pink tone, so I don't want to put pink on with this look, so we're going with this one. And I don't like looking like a tin man, so I don't really put too much. I kind of blow out my highlighter. I like it to look more like a glow than a stripe. That's just me though. What's her name? Nikki Tutorials. I used to love her. I still love her in the sense that if you see her Halloween stuff, when she does stuff at that time of the year, her skill is really good. But she's got a bit selly as well, QVC, hasn't she? I know lots of people are not gonna like this video because it's moany. That's me. I just moan. I like to discuss these things because I like to think that for God's sake there are other people out here who see it as well or feel the same, or I'm like, yeah, do you know what, see, in my 30s or my 40s or my 50s as a woman, I don't want to look like that. I suppose I'll put some brows on, seeing as I've gone to all the effort of putting foundation on, then I may as well put some of this on. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that look. So I'm not going to say anything cheesy like, what do you guys think? Well, have a discussion below, because there's going to be like 4 people who watch this. But as I said, the reason I make them is because I kind of like to think that there's other people thinking the same thing. So please do let me know what you think, if you're thinking the same, and if you think that the Naked palette is worth going out to buy. I'm not here trying to sell it to you. I'm just saying I've had it for 10 years and not lifted it up again, and now really glad that I did. I'm going to put on the Sesso again, the Naked one, because, you know, we're keeping my theme here. And it's just a gloss, so not putting on liner, anything like that. I am a kind of makeup and go kind of gal. Real life makeup. Oh, what do you call her? Makeup by Tiffany D. I quite like it. I think sometimes she actually is really good. I think sometimes she sits and like overthinks what she's saying. Like she sometimes worries about what she says to the point she'll be like, but you know, and she backtracks on things she says sometimes, which is a shame because I think she's got a lot of good points actually. Like the whole, you don't need powder all over your face, you just need it in the areas where you're oily. Yeah, exactly. You don't need to bake your face. Like, it's not a necessity. You are not a drag queen. You are not going under hot lights and, you know, a stage show where you need your makeup to stay in place that much. And you're 14 and you have no lines on your face. So what are you baking your face for? Oh, these are the things that, they just annoy me, but it's not life threatening and I don't worry about it too much. But this is why I like to make these videos, to kind of relate to people. So now that my makeup desk is suitably a mess, I think that's me. I think that's all I've got to say. Let me know what you think. Don't let me know that I look like a mess, because nobody wants to hear that. But I'm not a makeup artist, I am just a normal girl who loves makeup. I think that's apparent with all the stuff that I've bought over the years from Naked and... from Urban Decay. I just love makeup and I love meeting people who also love makeup, and I love seeing videos that people aren't selling me shit all the time. Let's not make YouTube the new QVC. Let's do that. But that's it. That is my ramble rant and my full face of, well, full face? Yeah, pretty much full face. I think my eyebrows and my mascara aren't Urban Decay. Everything else is. Oh, and my highlighter. But that is my face of naked makeup, and I'm actually really pleased with how it's turned out. I quite like it. Maybe we'll bring it out of the archives for a little while actually, and I should maybe try to use the other two palettes as well. If not, I'm gonna pass them on. I'm sure they'll be worth something now that they're getting rid of them. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that you agree with some of the things I say. Please go and follow me over on Instagram or Twitter. I don't tweet too much, but I do love Instagram. And I hope to see you again here soon. Bye!